Right, we're live. Good morning, everyone. It is Thursday, April 26th, and we're coming to you live from Houston, Texas. It's a beautiful summer day down here. It's going to be hot again. It was supposed to be cooler, but it's going to be hot. But that's okay. I like summertime. Now, I don't know if you remember last week, I did that live show from IKEA, and I was with my friend Cheryl, and it was real awkward to set up my phone because I didn't really have like a tabletop tripod. So I got myself one of those gooseneck device holders that clamp to your desk. Hey, good morning, DJ. How you doing? And so I've clamped that to my desk so I could turn my desk back around, and now I'm actually facing normally. All the other shows I've been kind of sitting on a chair, kind of awkwardly going, hey, how you doing? So I finally have it turned around. I have my comments right there so I can see who comes in and says hello. But I'm enjoying the gooseneck thing. I think that if I go in the field again, which I probably will, I'm thinking next week I'm going to be free to leave my studio for the show, go to a different part of the house. So that'll be good. Very excited. The goosenet's working. What's really interesting about the gooseneck is it's made out of some type of metal that's extremely hard to bend. So it's good because it's stable. It was really hard to set up. Good morning, Leslie. How's Northern California? It's good to see you. Well, Thursday, huh? We made it through hump day yesterday. I had a good day. I actually, after the show, had to go grocery shopping. I don't know if you remember that. And I ended up making a double batch of vegetable lasagna, which I love lasagna because you can put anything you want in it. So this time I put zucchini, but I used one of those Spyro zucchini slicers that makes the curlicues. And so it added a lot of texture. You know, zucchini can get mushy when you cook it. It kind of gets mushy. And so when you do the spiral, it comes out with a lot more texture, which is really, really nice. So I made a big double batch. So I had it for dinner. We'll have it for lunch. Dinner tonight, lunch tomorrow is what I'm counting on so I don't have to cook all the time, because cooking in advance is the secret to success. One thing I don't know what to do, because I don't like have this rich Italian heritage. I don't know much about pasta, but I cook too much lasagna pasta. So I read somewhere that you should spray it with like spray pan or whatever that cooking stuff is before you put it in a baggie so that it won't stick. But now I have a baggie full of lasagna that I don't know what to do with. So I'm not sure. I don't know if I can freeze it or not. If any of you know what I can do with extra lasagna, please leave it in the comments, because I hate to see it go. I mean, it's just pasta, but I'd hate to see it go to waste. I don't like to waste stuff. So today on my to-do list, on my attack plan, have y'all got your attack plan? Did you go to my website and download the printable, print the printable version? On my attack plan today, of course, I have all my daily chores, which I'm really excited to get done early. I started real early this morning because as soon as I sign up from the show, I have a lunch meeting with a friend of mine at one of my favorite local, it's like kind of an upscale diner. But I am going to be having fried chicken today, whether my waistline should have it or not. This place has the best fried chicken. Mashed potatoes and green beans. Yeehaw, I love the South. So I started early this morning so I could go to lunch with my friend and have some fried chicken. But today on my every 2-week chore list is wash the truck. And it's filthy. Filthy. What I'll probably end up doing is I'll run through one of those touch-free car washes, and then I'll come home and then I'll hand wash it myself one more time just to get it as clean as possible, because it's embarrassingly filthy. It's a gray truck right now and it's supposed to be green. So I'm going to wash the truck. And as I've rotated around the house, it's time to wash a set of windows again. So now it's the master bathroom and the master bedroom windows. So I'm going to rotate right around the house and do another set of windows and keep them sparkling clean. See, here in Houston, when I bought this house, the home inspector said that in Houston, the biggest problem is moisture. You're always fighting the moisture here. And so things grow algae. I mean, the sidewalks grow algae, literally, like you're on the inside of an aquarium. So if I don't keep the screens and the windows continuously cleaned, I get a layer of algae. Who wants that, right? Leslie wants to say, how do you clean your, she wants to know how you clean your screens. Well, if they're real full of pollen, I'll take them off and hose them and just let them dry so that it actually hoses the pollen out. And I also found a product at the Home Depot that it's near where the siding, you know, there's cleaners for siding and houses and roofs and stuff. And it was a spray that you can spray on your screens and your fences or whatever and just leave it. And the moisture activates it and it repels dirt and it repels algae. So after I've cleaned them, I'll go through, it's actually time to do it again. I only have to do it once a year. But it keeps the screens and the windows from growing the algae and getting too dirty. So it's kind of a two-step process. But if they're real dirty, like from pollen season, I'd take them down and hose them. Good old-fashioned water power. Yeah, so got to do the truck. Oh, and we had a question from Teresa. I believe Teresa, Captain Teresa's from New York. And Captain Teresa wants to know about planting. I think she meant houseplants, but how and when do you transplant plants? So really with plants, always, whether they're indoors or outdoors, springtime is the best time because it gives them a long time to grow new fresh roots and get really established in the pot. You know, there's always a growth spurt in the springtime, no matter where you live. But the most important thing is to figure out whether or not your plant needs transplanting, because maybe it's not ready. And so you want to see if the roots have become root bound is really the key. And some clues you want to look for is like, do you have to water extra to keep it perky, you know, more often than you used to? That could indicate that the roots are root bound. There's not enough dirt to hold the moisture for them. Then you can also look at the bottom where the drain hole is, and you can see if the roots have started to grow out of that. So if you can see the roots coming out, there's a good chance your plant's root bound. And also, well, did the plant just stop growing? You know, you're used to it growing however much per month and it just slowed or stopped growing. That could indicate that your plant needs transplanting also. So then when you choose the container, you don't want to go too much bigger. You want to maybe go an inch or two bigger because you don't want to give it too much dirt. You want the roots to feel safe and secure in the pot. So once you've chosen the pot and you take the plant out to transplant it, you want to like tease the roots really well so that they get all fluffy, because they may have started growing in a circle. And I remember one time I went to transplant a plant I thought needed it, and I pulled it out and I could still see the roots from the container that I bought the plant in, because they never changed shape because I failed to tease the roots. So you need to muss them up really, really well. Put them in the new pot with fresh dirt and water it real well. I like to use just potting soil. You know, potting soil often is amended with things that help retain moisture, and also they usually have a level of plant food in there, which is real good for the plant. When you first transplant them, they're a little bit, they could go into shock, you know, because they're all, you know, tussled up. So a little bit of food, some space, some water, and your plant should be good to go. I hope that answers your question, Teresa. You just want to look to see if it's root bound. If it's root bound, put it in a pot that's a couple inches bigger with some fresh dirt. Tease up the roots before you put it in there, and then water it in real well and kind of keep an eye on it. It might need extra water than it did in the past. just to get established? All right, that's a great question. Thank you. If any of y'all have a question that you'd like me to answer, make sure you leave that in the comments, because I go back and go through them all, take notes, and I'm happy to answer your questions in the future. So let's see who else is here. Oh, Angela showed up. Hi, Round Rock. That's in Texas, isn't it? Yep. Isn't it Round Rock where they have the big flea market every year? That big one that everyone comes to from all over the country? I think so. Oh, Angela's talking about dog-safe plants. That's critical, because if you have a dog or a cat that is obsessed with eating plants, then they're going to get into a plant no matter where you put it. There's no safe place, right? So I'll go over this in a few. I'll have to do a little bit of research and make a list, but I'm happy to answer that in a future show about what plants are safe to have in your house for your dogs and cats. But rest assured, no matter where you put them, your dog or your cat's going to get to it. I mean, they just have a way. I was very lucky with, I had 2 cats, Cleopatra and Chandler. Cleo passed away, unfortunately, but they were sisters, litter mates. And Chandler didn't care about plants at all, and Cleo was obsessed with eating them. So now that she's passed away last fall, I've started adding house plants back into the house more, and it's actually quite nice. So who's all here? Oh, we have lots of people here. Oh, it's so good to see you all. I'm so glad you stopped by. If you want to be notified when I go live, you need to subscribe, of course. But what a lot of people don't realize is you have to ring that little notification bell that's next to the word subscribe. And that's how you get notified when somebody goes live or uploads a new video. I put a new video up yesterday with tips on cleaning baseboards. That's in my house cleaning playlist, so check that out if you're interested. During that live feed, when we talked about baseboards, Cheryl from Texas, Captain Cheryl, wanted to know, what if you get down and you can't get back up? And I answered that question from the point of view that you got down and then something happened and you couldn't get back up. So I suggested that you have your cell phone with you if you're worried about that. But later on, she clarified that what she really meant was, what if you have trouble getting down to the baseboards? Then how do you clean them? And what I suggest is, I have a telescoping kind of like a mop, or you could use like one of those Swiffer things, and you could put your rag on that and you could stand and clean your baseboards, I'm sure, just as well as if you got down on the floor. So Captain Cheryl, thank you for that clarification, because I know getting down on the floor is difficult. If you really do want to get down there, you can always put a step stool, if you're able, put a step stool and then hold on to that as you're going down and up. Safety first. We need clean houses, but we need to keep ourselves safe. Okay, well, I have a lunch person waiting for me. I wish you could all join us. It'd be fun. Later on, I think in about 2 weeks, we're going to go live again with Cheryl and talk about her journey with minimalism. So I'm very excited about that. Tomorrow is Friday. I'll be back here at 11 a.m. Keep in mind, just because you're in charge of your house doesn't mean you have to do everything. Always delegate and automate whenever possible. I can't emphasize that enough. If you want to read more about that, I have a link in the show description that goes to a blog post about automating what you do. And it has a list of suggestions of things to do yourself and to delegate and automate to try to free up your time. Weekends are sacred. You should not be working on the weekends. You should be having fun and spending time with your loved ones. And now that it's summer, you should be going outdoors. Okay, that's it for today. Like I like to end every show, say it with me. No matter what life throws at me, I have the ability to make this a fantastic day. Okay, thanks, my friends. We'll see you tomorrow. I appreciate it. Bye. Have a great day.